My, what's going on with legacy news media? This group over here is saying it's fine. It's just the opposing political side of legacy news media that's the real issue. But then these people are telling me the enterprise is conspiring against us. Apparently the entire institution is corrupt. Are they listening right now? And this group barely knows what legacy news media is. They're busy getting all their information on socials. Can we not trust anyone anymore? Is everyone lying? If legacy news media is falling, is this a disaster or an opportunity? You're watching Archetypal Wisdom, decoding culture through archetypal psychology. Remember to like and subscribe. Now, back to the video. Looking back now, it seems obvious that legacy news media would fall in the wake of social media. I mean, we've become accustomed to unfiltered grassroots everyday reporting on cultural events and situations. Now legacy news media looks stiff, awkward, and choreographed. People want the real thing. They want the truth. It makes you wonder how anyone truly enjoyed legacy news media. How did people not feel patronized by this top-down system, where meaning was assigned by a small group and taught to the broader public? Unless it was reflective of a developmental stage of the collective. After all, not only was this top-down approach accepted for a long time, but it seems like it was needed and desired. It was relied upon much like a child relies on a parent, which ironically seems to be reflective of the developmental stage of the collective in question. For many generations, legacy news media served as a symbolic parent, leading and directing the public in how to rank and understand events and reality itself. It was the interpreter of information for the collective. It reinforced the philosophy of the collective's shared national identity. I see. So legacy news media brings up our collective mummy and daddy issues. Well, it kind of seems that way. But why would we need a symbolic parent to guide us on what to pay attention to and how to think? To be honest, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that myself. But it does make me think of one of Carl Jung's trippier theories. He discussed the concept of the self archetype. In Jung's theory, the self represents the totality of the psyche, encompassing both the conscious and the unconscious. It is distinct from the ego, which refers to the conscious personality, the part of us that says I. Because of its vastness, the self can feel overwhelming, even terrifying to the ego. It stands above and beyond what the ego can fully grasp or control. What's fascinating is that in early psychological development, people don't first experience their inner authority or core sense of meaning internally. Instead, these are projected onto the outside world, onto people, institutions, and symbols. Before we can recognize and relate to these deeper forces within ourselves, we initially encounter them externally, forming relationships outside of us before gradually integrating them inward. Well, nations have collective egos and a shared personality. That is what culture is. In other words, nations go through ego development just like an individual, but over a much longer span of time. Just as an individual initially projects inner authority outward, early stages of collective development saw societies projecting their deeper organizing principles onto institutions such as religion, government, and media. In fact, this appears to be the function of institutions. They are created to contain and organize archetypal forces that would otherwise overwhelm the collective. Could this mean that the self's ordering intelligence, which filters chaos into shared meaning, was institutionalized through legacy news media? Could this have been a way of relieving individuals of the existential burden of interpretation by doing that work on their behalf? If the psychological energy is too great for the individual ego, then why wouldn't people depend on Big Papa to handle it? Well, it seems like people are exhausted by being told what to pay attention to and how to think about it, doesn't it? If projection is a stage of ego development, then it obviously implies a stage beyond projection. In Jung's theory, the next stage is a withdrawal of the projections, which allows the individual to start relating to the unconscious energy internally and directly instead of externally and indirectly. It feels like this is exactly where the collective ego is, right? For every person who accepts a mainstream news narrative, there's 10 more who laugh at it. The collective projection of the self's ordering intelligence is withdrawing from the centralized institution of legacy news media. And it seems social media kickstarted this. Social media opened the floodgates to millions of voices and perspectives all at once. Suddenly, information and news was being delivered from the many to the many instead of the few to the many. Now it is social media which is housing the intense energy of the raw, unmediated collective psyche, leaving legacy news media feeling like a hollow shell. I see, so this current chaos is social media's fault. At last, an original take. Well, sure, but what if this was inevitable? I mean, if Jung is right, this is a natural stage of ego development that was always going to happen. What if it's not social media that caused the breakdown of legacy news media as an institution, but rather social media is a reflection of a natural shift in the collective psyche? This follows the mystical saying, as above, so below. The external world is simply a reflection of the inner world. Wouldn't it make sense then that institutions only remain relevant so long as the discharged archetypal energy they house is still needing to be carried for the collective? Once the collective becomes ready to interface with the archetypal energy more directly, which the institution was carrying, the institution is stripped of the psychological energy which was sustaining it. What an incredible and troubling idea, that we are just at the whims of the natural rhythms of consciousness. It's incredible to think that the psychology of an individual and collective is always shifting and moving, yet it's unsettling to think that this is always occurring within the unconscious long before the ego is aware of it. What if social media is actually a type of transitional institution? What if it's housing a more participatory experience of processing information, compelling us to extrapolate meaning for ourselves instead of receiving the curated version from an external centralized authority? So the chaos of social media is all part of the unconscious plan? Well, in some sense, yes, but it seems deeply precarious. The great opportunity here is that we can individually start relating to the inner authority and organizing intelligence that we've been projecting. Yet this comes at great risk. The collective is so accustomed to being told what to do and how to think. The natural withdrawal of these projections means there is no longer neat coherence handed to us. There is no longer the comfort of certainty. What's so precarious is that even though the process of withdrawing projections is a natural pattern of the psyche, it doesn't guarantee the maturation of the ego. The psyche just sets the circumstances for the ego to start relating more directly to the unconscious energy it's been projecting. But the responsibility to do so is still on the ego. The real kicker is that this moment we're in comes with some terrible risks if the ego doesn't learn how to relate to the withdrawn projections successfully. For example, if the ego is suddenly flooded with psychological energy and mistakes itself for the self, it can become inflated. This doesn't just mean some arrogance might spill out. This can lead to a fracturing of the ego structure as it's totally overwhelmed by the extent of the unconscious energy, leading to psychosis. There is also the risk of tribalism, which is born from people still seeking an external centralized authority in the form of a new leader. If this happens during the withdrawal of projected centralized authority, amidst the millions of voices speaking at once, it can lead to a myriad of micro-leaders and thus warring groups. Well, this is sounding like a great situation. Psychosis or war? Take your pick. Well, yes, the collective psyche is withdrawing its projection of centralized authority from legacy news media, and the responsibility to navigate the information of our world and make sense of it is now on each of our shoulders. This is the task at hand, and it's no joke, but it's also non-negotiable. It's happening whether we like it or not. Well, high stakes indeed. It sounds like a coin toss to see if we grow or implode. You've been watching Archetypal Wisdom. Remember to like and subscribe. Stay wise.